It's time for Hoptown Hoppers Baseball. This Hoppers on Radio broadcast is brought to you by Service One Credit Union, Southern States Petroleum, Raymond Nelson Insurance, Baird Wealth Management, All Clean Services and AKS Flooring and Design Center, McGee Pest Control, Hopkinsville Milling Company, J. Schrecker Jewelry, Arby's, Hoptown Hoppers, TGASK, Hayes Furniture, Penny Roll Electric, Max Arnold & Sons, Planners Bank, and Huggard Beard & Giles Funeral Home. Now let's head to the stadium for all the action.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jamar Perkins joined by Ethan Alexander. Almost time for Hoptown Hopper Baseball in about 14 minutes as the Hoppers are set to take on the Dubois County Bombers. The Hoppers have had a 4-day break as weather has decided that they wanted to give the OVL, probably a couple of teams in the OVL, but specifically the Hoppers, some breaks here. So Hoppers trying to get back in the swing of things. We talked to Coach Dubois about kind of the break, and he said, it's kind of you look at it two different ways, not being able to play consistently, also rest. You talk about this season with normally just one off day, so that's something to look at as well. But we had a chance to listen to Coach Dubois in our Dugout Show, which is brought to you by the Barbecue Shack, offering catering and custom cooking. And visit them Wednesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., 4687 Pembroke Road in Hopkinsville. As we'll take a timeout. When you come back, you'll listen and hear from Coach E.J. Dubois.
For the latest UK sports news, it's the Leach Report. Weekday mornings at 8 on Hoptown's News Radio, 99.3 WHOP.
Hi, this is Jacob Dilday from Rend Lake College. On behalf of all the 2023 Hoptown Hoppers, I would like to say thank you to all of our fans, families, supporters, and especially our host families. We love this game of baseball, and we appreciate all of you helping us to pursue our baseball dreams. Once again, to all the Hopper Nation, thank you, and we hope to see you at the ballpark. Go Hoppers!
Second, the second baseman, number 3, Sam
Jamar Perkins here with Hopper head coach EJ Dubois. How you doing today, Coach?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. So it was supposed to be a full weekend of home games, but the weather had different plans. But it's been 4 days since the Hoppers last played. What are your thoughts on the break?
Mother Nature hasn't been cooperating as much as I would like it to be, but no, I mean the rest is good, especially coming late on the middle of the summer when the days are hot and longer. But we'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully we are rested and ready to go.
How did you feel about the players during batting practice today?
There were some good swings, some bad swings, a little bit of the same thing. But the energy's there. You can tell they're a little bit fresh. But BP is always BP. I never go on a game thinking of that.
So, as far as playing here at Colonel Field, we've missed some home games due to the weather. But how well do you think the players have kind of gotten used to this to kind of make it feel like a home field for them?
By now, I would say they're not there yet. It's just every day plays different, so it's hard for them to kind of get comfortable and relax on the home field situation. But like I said, it's home, and so most of them are in there and feeling getting to a point. But I feel like other guys are still kind of welcoming in.
What do you feel like the keys to the game are for a game like today?
We just can't be flat. We can't come out flat. We got to be on our toes and play all 9 innings long. Especially since we've been rested for a while, we just got to come out, out the door on the first pitch.
So as far as the game today, I'm not sure if you looked at the forecast, knocking on wood, there is a chance towards the ending of the game that rain could come. So a mindset after 5 innings, whoever's winning is kind of up. So does the game plan change a bit, or is there a bit more aggression that is shown when you have games like this, or do you kind of just play like a normal game?
No, I try to stay the same. Obviously there's some urgency on getting on the board early as every other day. But no, I try to keep it the same. That way there's no more pressure added on top of having to get ahead on 5 innings just in case of the rain. But no, just keep it the same, keep it light. But as always, a little urgency trying to get on the scoreboard first.
All right, who's the starting pitcher tonight? What can you tell us about them?
So we got Brady Genevieve today. He was slotted for Friday. This past Friday missed his start. So we're going to take him out today just a little bit earlier than usual. He'll go maybe 3 innings just so he gets some innings and get him set for his next start next week. Like I said before, he's been our guy to go to. So hopefully he shows us a little bit more of that stuff today.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yeah, no problem.
Folding a fitted sheet.
The Sean Hannity Show, weekday afternoons at 2 on Hoptown's News Radio, 99.3 WHOP.
Welcome back here. Jamar Perkins joined by Ethan Alexander. It's Hoptown Hopper baseball action as the Hoppers are hosting the Dubois County Bombers. And the Hoppers currently warming up right now, or Brady Ginnivan, the starting pitcher, on the mound. But we want to take a time out to check the weather. We have mentioned, as you heard in the dugout show, EJ Dubois, a possible slight chance at rain later in the evening. But we're going to go ahead and check our game time weather, brought to you by Charlie Henderson State Farm.
Here's your WHOP Weather Center forecast. A severe thunderstorm watch continues until 8 p.m. tonight. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows level off around 68, southwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 89. Mainly clear skies tomorrow night, lows around 68. That's the forecast from the WHOP Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Megan Mulford. Currently, it's 95 degrees.
Again, the Hoppers playing the Dubois County Bombers. Want to start off the starting lineups as for the Bombers. Looks like we're going to start early here, but the Bombers, Josh Newton starting, then Aaron Busick, then Xander Willis, Braxton Templin, Paul Austin, Caden Herx in the 6th spot. After that, Dalton Wasson, Brevin Brissack, Anthony Jarrell, and pitching for the Bombers is Stone Silver. Pretty cool name there, Stone Silver. As we'll give you the starting lineups for the Hoppers when they get set to bat. As the first pitch here from Brady Ginnivan. That'll be a fly ball there towards right field. Estrada tracking it down, and he'll make the grab there for the first out. So first pitch swing, that opening pitch brought to you by Rapid RX Pharmacy, located on Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville. Looking for a new pharmacy? Let the friendly staff at Rapid RX Pharmacy help you. As I want to remind you, too, the starting lineups are brought to you by Riken Elastomers. Join the Riken Elastomers team with process to operator starting pay at over $18 an hour and an excellent benefit package that includes employee-paid benefits. Call 270-475-2150, extension 214 to learn more. First pitch to Aaron Abusick is a strike from Brady Ginnivan, so an 0-1 count here. As that second one, it looks like it's going to be a fly ball to left field, and it's caught there. So back-to-back flyouts make it a back-to-back outs here at Colonel Field. Xander Willis is at the plate now for the Bombers. Willis coming from Oakland City University, originally from Mount Carmel, Indiana. So 2 outs here, right-handed batter, as that first pitch is high for a ball. So 1-0 count. And if you're listening to the Dugout Show, Davari mentioned Ginnivan expected to play maybe just about 3 innings today, as that's a strike there, making it 1-1. As he already mentioned that they plan to start Brady next week, because I think they're starting to see that, or he mentioned that Brady's kind of one of the mainstay pitchers in this group. That's just outside for a ball there in the middle, making it a 2-1 count. And the Hoppers playing the Bombers here. Hoppers were supposed to play the Bombers. This is actually the first time the Hoppers have played them. They were supposed to play this past Thursday, but the weather postponed the game, as that'll be fouled off behind the bat there behind home plate. So a 2-2 count here to Xander Willis. Willis, a 121 batting average. So you look at the games played, the worst batting average on the team for the Bombers. The pitch here, that's fouled off. It was a high and outside pitch there.
Yeah, the Bombers not a bad team by any means, but they're definitely not one of the top teams in the league. This would be a good night to get the feet back under them for Hoptown and pick off a team that's kind of meandering in the middle of the league.
2-2 the throw. That ball looked like it was going to be a ball inside, but Willis felt the pressure to swing there, so that's fouled to the screen in front of the home bleachers by first base. Willis, 121 batting average, but he does have one of the 6 triples on the team for the Bombers. So 2-2 count here with 2 outs. The throw from Ginnivan here. That's a swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down here, as there were no hits, no errors, none left on base, and no runs scored. Starting off for the Hoppers in the bottom of the first, it'll be Reed Douglas, Sam Perkins, and Luis Vergara as we look at the Manpower Hopkinsville scoreboard after a half an inning to start here, 0-0. We'll be back with more action here, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
This is News Radio WHOP AM Hopkinsville and WHOP HD3 Hopkinsville.
The Bombers went 3 up, 3 down to start batting, as it was 2 flyouts to get the first 2 outs, and a strikeout ended the inning for the Bombers. Now for the Hoppers, it'll be Reed Douglas. As you want to check the starting lineups, go ahead and throw that out there. Reed Douglas will start things off behind the plate. Sam Perkins playing at second base as a second batter. Out of left field, it's Luis Vergara batting third. And center field, it's Dom Oliverio batting the cleanup spot at fourth. Carter Hood playing at third base will be the fifth batter. Sixth batter, Robert Estrada coming out of right field. Manuel Villalobos is the designated hitter tonight. Artie Logvanov will be playing the shortstop position, batting eighth. The ninth hole batter will be Mac Biggs playing at first base. And as I mentioned, starting pitching for the Hoppers was Brady Ginnivan, as he had a nice performance to start things. And pitching for the Bombers will be Stone Silver. Reed Douglas again starting things off here. Breaking ball is a strike there, a slow one there, but in the right spot in the middle. So 0-1 the count here. Second pitch, too low for a ball. This Hopper Game Day is brought to you by Altman Coatings, as they are the sponsors for tonight's ball game. 1-1 the count, swing and a miss there. Makes it a 1-2. Reed Douglas, like he was tightening the gloves up a bit. 1-2 the count. Throw there is low and outside, makes it 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. That ball is fouled behind home plate. Looking over at Sam Perkins, playing at second base tonight. It's been just a couple of flyouts and a strikeout, so I'm not sure why his white pants are dirty. Might have been doing some work earlier in the ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's a breaking ball. That one was close, but it is a ball. Just a bit maybe too high. Hoppers wearing their red uniforms with the black stripes and black letterings with white pants. As the full count pitch here, that is just outside there.
Yeah, and good plate discipline there from Reed Douglas. Those last 2 pitches were relatively close to the strike zone. So way to watch for him and get someone on the board without giving up an out.
And so now Sam Perkins will come to the plate. So runner at first for the Hoppers. That's Reed Douglas. First pitch, that ball is fouled to the bleachers by first base, making it an 0-1 count. Perkins coming from Hanover College, originally from Louisville, Kentucky. And plays second base for the Hoppers. Has been one of those common starters in the lineup as well. As that'll be a ball just outside, the umpire says. So 1-1 now the count. Perkins with a .255 batting average. One of the best on the team. As that will be a ball there, making it 2-1. Best batting average on the team belongs to Kaito Muto, although he's only played 9 games. As that's a strike there. A bit of a delayed call there from the umpire. As far as common players go, you look at some players like Stephen Bell with a .321 and Robert Estrada. That's going to be a foul behind home plate, the 2-2 pitch. Estrada with a .271 batting average. And then Dom Oliverio, .258 batting average. As Oliverio, or Carter Hood actually has the most at bats. He has a .250 batting average. But Carter Hood and Oliverio most games played, is first baseman's just going to throw over to first, and Reed Douglas was already at first base. He didn't have to move at all. We just want to make sure he didn't get a balk call up there. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Runner at first with no outs, and still just started things here in the bottom of the first. 0-0 ball game. That is another foul ball towards the screen behind home plate. Perkins working the count here. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a runner at first. The throw from Silver, breaking ball, that is going to go behind the Chick-fil-A, or on top of, should I say, the Chick-fil-A broadcast booth. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first. As Douglas is getting a nice lead off, and stepping off of the mound will be Silver. Two balls, 2 strikes to throw. Douglas will steal. It's a strikeout. They'll make the throw, and not in time is the throw. So Douglas will steal for second. But Perkins does strike out swinging there. So now 1 out with the runner at second. And Luis Vergara is at the plate. I mentioned too, which, I mean, you look at it, the clouds looking a bit peculiar. Nothing crazy yet. You feel the wind, but after 5 innings, they'll take the score of what the game is as far as who wins. So if you want to get that lead early if you're the Hoppers, so a nice position here with a runner at second with just 1 out, and a good hitter with Vergara at the plate. That's going to be a foul ball going behind the bleachers near first. Runner at second, no balls, 1 strike. The throw is swung on and missed there. So quickly an 0-2 count here for Vergara. Runner at second here. Douglas dancing near second as he'll run back after that ball. So 1-2 the count. Luis Vergara, a top chef, is what I found out when he came this past Friday for an interview. Said, I asked him what his hidden talent was. He said cooking. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As that one was close, almost hit Vergara, but didn't. Inside pitch. He said he wasn't sure what his best dish was, but he said his girlfriend thinks his pasta is good, and like an Alfredo. He said he makes homemade sauce too. Told him to give me the recipe. I think he forgot to let me know. We're going to have to chat with him after the game about that one. But 2 balls, 2 strikes, a runner at second, 1 out. The throw is outside, but swung on and missed. So back-to-back strikeouts here. And 2 outs as Vergara walks towards Dom Oliveria, who's next up to bat, and gives him a few words. Oliverio, as I mentioned moments ago, a .258 batting average. And he's got 16 hits on the season. As that first pitch called strike. It's tied for 3rd on the team. Luis Vergara also has 16 hits. And Carter Hood. But Robert Estrada with 19 hits takes the lead, and right behind him is Stephen Bell with 18. The 0-1 count here. That ball is lined, and it will hit. As that actually hits Reed Douglas going to second. So an automatic out there. Tough break. That ball might have been a base hit had it have not hit Reed Douglas. He seems to be okay.
Yeah, I think Oliveria was more upset about that than Reed was. But I'm not sure. I think the shortstop was standing behind him. Would probably have made that play either way, but I guess that's a way to end the inning on your own terms.
I agree. as there were no hits, no errors. And now, one left on base and no runs scored. As we look at the manpower of Hopkinsville scoreboard, 0-0 as we head to the top of the second. This is Hoptown Hopper Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
News Radio WHOP.
Still scoreless here between both teams. The Hoptown Hoppers playing against the Dubois County Bombers. Pitching is Brady Ginnivan for the Hoppers. And Ginnivan came into the program listed as a player for Indiana State, but seems he's transferred, and he's actually playing for Southeastern Illinois College, as multiple players on the Hopper squad play for that team. John Keebler, Landon Klein, and now Brady Ginnivan. First pitch is going to be a shot towards left field. That's a base hit, and it'll get past Vergara in left field. So going for two here, as he will get it there. That was Braxton Templin. First pitch, first swing there, and a double. As he hit that one to the left of Vergara, or his left, towards center field, and that ball winded past Vergara. As the wind picking up a bit here at Colonel Field. So runner at second here. The throw, that is inside to Paul Osting. So a 1-0 count. Throw there, a strike, makes it 1-1. So 1-1. The throw is swung on and missed there. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. As that'll be a high hit ball towards left field. Vergara tracking it down, and he makes the grab for the first out. So 1 out here with a runner at second. As that first pitch is a ball. 1-0 the count here. Runner at second. That pitch is a strike there, just outside. It makes it a 1-1 count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. We got a runner is at second. That ball will be hit towards second, and
no.
Perkins can't get to it, but he does get a glove on it. Now coming in to score is Templin, as Caden Hurts there with an RBI single. And now a 1-0 ball game here. Now Dalton Watson is hitting for the Bombers. Oh, 1 the count. And ball called there just outside. Makes it a 2-0 count. As trying to go to second. That is a strike call, but an easy steal there from Herx puts him on second. It's a 1-0 ball game here. As the Bombers currently lead the Hoppers. Outside pitch there for a ball. So a 2-2 count here. With a runner at second. Throw there is fouled off the bat. Keeps the count the same at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here. And it's Watson at the plate. Throw there is high. Makes the count a full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count there, and that ball is low and outside. Might have touched the dirt there. As was a check swing, and umpire near second base says he did not go. So a walk there. Now runners at first and second with a 1 out. Brevin Brisick. He's at the plate now. Taller batter here, designated hitter. Throw there is a strike. From my eyes, looked like it was going to be too low, but ump says good pitch. No balls, 1 strike. As that pitch called a ball, so a 1-1 now the count. As trying to steal both bases, ball is just outside from third. As having to move off the base was Carter Hood there. And double steal there. Pitch was called strike. So Watson will move to second, and Herx moves to third. So now runners at second and third, both in scoring position with a 1 out here and a 1-2 count for Brevin Brissick for the Bombers. 1-0 is the score. Bombers currently lead the Hoppers as they've already scored 1 run in this inning. Throw there is going to be a strike 3 called there. Brissick, it was an outside pitch. He looked at it, and umpires sent him to the dugout. Now 2 outs. Nice pitch there for Ginnivan. A strike called there. Anthony Jarrell, the 9th hole batter for the Bombers. So now an 0-1 count. Second pitch, check swing. They say he did not go. So that evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch swung on and missed there. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here. The 1-2 is going to be a strikeout. As once again looking as there was 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base, and a 1 run scored. Well, you look at the manpower of Hopkinsville's scoreboard, 1-0. The Bombers lead the Hoppers as we head to the bottom of the second, and it'll be Carter Hood, Robert Estrada, and Manuel Miggy Villalobos up to bat for the Hoppers. This is Hoptown Hopper Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
We are back here in the bottom of the second inning, and Carter Hood's going to immediately be hit by a pitch to put a runner on first base here in the bottom of the second. I will preface this by saying Jamar's having some issues with his Wi-Fi router for the station, so I'm going to do it by myself here for a minute while he tries to get that figured out. Don't want to have the station down for too long, so I'm going to have just the stream going for the time being. So Robert Estrada now up at the plate. He's going to take a ball to get things started for his day. And Carter Hood at first base after getting hit by that pitch, very first pitch of the bottom of the second inning. A low pitch there for a 2-0 count for Estrada. The Hoppers give up a run here in the top of the second inning, trying to bounce back and not give up too much of a lead in this game. That is a strike. Estrada doesn't agree with it, but a strike nonetheless, 2-1 the count. And there's a foul ball, so now the count is evened up at 2 apiece. And we have Miggy Villalobos on deck. And another foul there, that one with a little bit more movement flies to the practice facility. 2-2 count remains the same. Carter Hood on first base. No outs on the board. And another foul as Robert Estrada is fighting here to stay alive. Safe at first is Robert Estrada, but Carter Hood out at second as Dubois is unable to roll up a double play. Now Manuel Villalobos, number 32, is at the plate. And we're in a similar situation here with a runner on first base, but one out on the board now for Villalobos.
Breaking ball, a pitch there. Called strike to Miggy Villalobos. I believe that might have actually been called a ball as Estrada's trying to steal, but it's a foul ball. So he'll be forced to come back. So 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. As 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss there.
As all of a sudden it looks a little gloomy out here.
As it is looking dark.
Dark clouds start to roll in.
1 ball, 2 strikes here. As time is called.
And a wind coming in a little bit now too, so that weather we were maybe looking for is starting to slowly approach as a strikeout is called for Villalobos. There's the second out at the bottom of the inning.
Now up to bat, it's Artie Longvanov, his first at bat. We've got 2 outs here.
Some folks look to be moving out of the stands here as they're expecting some rain.
There's Estrada stealing, and
he'll
be tagged out there at second. So Estrada is out. That's the 3rd out there. So as we'll keep it here, 1-0 is the score. Looking at the manpower of Hopkinsville's scoreboard. As you mentioned, we do have some fans kind of walking away here as the weather is not looking good. It's looking like we have a dark cloud coming towards us. As Davari and other coaches are currently looking at the sky, seeing where the clouds are going.
Yeah, and a big dark cloud is now sitting directly over the field. It's moving to the left now, but the weather the last few days being so weird. It's been lightning storms and hard winds, but very little rain. So we will see if that persists tonight and we have something similar, or if we finally see some rain for a change.
And so 1-0 the score is the Bombers are leading now. As it'll be back at the top of the lineup, Josh Newton, Aaron Busick, and Xander Willis will be up at bat. Again, I want to remind folks listening, the game day sponsor for tonight is Altman Coatings. Again, Altman Coatings sponsoring tonight's ball game. So we have seen some fans dismiss themselves from the ball game as the wind's starting to pick up here. We do have some fans that are staying through here. And again, Josh Newton, he flied out in his one and only at bat in the first inning. Throw here is low and outside as it gets past Douglas. Here in the top of the third inning. 1-0 the count here. It's a Newton. Throw there is high and inside. Making it 2 balls and no strikes. "2-0 is swung on and missed there. Nice fastball there from Ginnivan. So 2 balls, 1 strike. You think this wind coming in hard. Almost think it might affect the ball a bit, or at least the throw. As that is outside. Check swing doesn't matter. It's a strike called there. So 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and if you look up in the sky, the cloud to our left looks like it's coming to the right over the field, and the cloud to our right looks like it's coming to the left over the field. Looks 2 clouds converging, both not looking very pretty. The one to the left maybe a little darker.
You know, the way it's coming, though, it might be moving past us. There's a chance, at least if I'm looking at it right. I think it might not be as bad as it's a full count here. Josh Newton at the plate. As the go-ahead pitch, that ball outside gets past Douglas. That's a walk there for the first batter. There's a couple of players in the bullpen for the Hoppers right now. We've already mentioned that they only really planned to throw Ginnivan for 3 innings. So 1-0 the score here. Bombers currently leading. It's the top of the third. Throw there is just a bit high. So 1 ball, no strike. Wind picking up here as there will be a meeting between Douglas and Ginnivan. So they'll try to talk some things here with the runner at first and no outs in the top of the third. Next up to bat is Aaron Busick for the Bombers. Josh Newton is the left-handed batter. As a throw over to first, that one, I think they got him. Wow, no. They say no. They did not get him. That looked good as the throw to first. He's throwing to Biggs, but no. Umpire says he's safe. So 1 ball, no strikes here. The throw, it's a swing and a miss, making it 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. It came off the bat, and it'll go to Biggs, but Biggs was kind of not in the right spot as he wasn't able to tag Newton at first. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, though. throw there is Douglas is trying to track that one down, and no, it's actually going to be Hood, and he makes the grab there.
Yeah, and the wind blew that base. The wind blew that one all the way back into the field. That one was going foul, and it just happened to be going foul over the left netting, which, as we can see, is blowing in. So that ball got blown almost fair. If he had dropped that ball, it would have been fair.
They say stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. That's what Carter Hood did there. One out here. Runner at first. They'll throw over to first. And in time there is Newton once again. So he'll stay at first. No pitch has been thrown yet. Xander Willis is at the plate. He struck out in his last at-bat. Throw once again to first. And in time once again is Newton. As I believe the wind just took out some piece of equipment. Not exactly sure. Oh, that's the railing on the fence by the dugout for the Bombers.
Yeah, and that came off the other day in that hard wind for when we were out here when the game got canceled. So that is a bit of a hazard over towards the opposing dugout.
Throw there is swung on and missed for a strike. The first pitch actually thrown to Willis after two back-to-back throws to first base and that interruption. So no balls, one strike. Throw there is fouled, making it an 0-2 count. Then we have one out here. It's a 1-0 ball game as the Bombers lead the Hoppers here in the top of the third with the Bombers currently batting. Throw over to first once again. And once again in time is Josh Newton. Willis facing an 0-2 count. The throw there is swung on and missed for the strikeout. Ginnivan took his time on that one. And it was the pitch that he needed on that high heater. So now two outs. And Braxton Templin is at the plate. He had a double to start off the second inning, the left-handed batter. Templin coming from Georgetown University, originally from Nashville, Tennessee. Plays catcher for the Bombers. The throw is trying to steal, going to second was Newton, but a foul ball will bring back Newton to first. So no balls, one strike. A runner at first. And he'll throw over to first once again, and in time is Newton. I believe that's about 6 times we've seen a throw to first base with Newton there. No balls, one strike, 2 outs to throw. As that one gets loose, I think that might have hit Douglas. Might have hit his arm rather than his glove. He seems to be okay, as it'll be a walk. Or no, excuse me, that hit Templin. So now moving to first is Templin, and going to second is Newton. Now another left-handed batter, Paul Osting. He flied out to left field. His one and only at bat is that's a shot towards right field, a base hit. It is a land in front of. No, it goes behind Estrada. So scoring at home, and they're going to try to score again as they're going to go, and Douglas is there to tag him. As a bit of a stare down too from Douglas to Templin. So a run does score. Newton will come to home after that base hit from Osting, and Templin is going to be tagged out at home for the third out as we check the Manpower of Hopkinsville scoreboard. Looking for a job, visit Manpower on Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville today. Let them connect you with the great position where you can start tomorrow. Currently, the Bombers lead the Hoppers 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. This Hoptown Hopper baseball game brought to you by Chick-fil-A. For the Hoppers here is Artie Logvanov. Throw is high there for a ball. So 1-0 the count. As the throw is made to Silver, it comes out of the glove a bit. He picks it up. So 1 ball, no strikes. Strike called there. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Throw there is low and outside, making it 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 count there. That ball is hit towards right field, short right field, and it's tracked down there for the out. So 1 out here. And it's Mac Biggs in the lineup now for the Hoppers. His first at bat. Mac Biggs had the big home run in that Wednesday night ball game. As things have cleared up just a bit here at Colonel Field. Swing and a miss there from Biggs, an outside pitch. And so no balls, 1 strike. Do you hear some thunder? That's another swing and a miss there. That ball outside, but a bit higher than the last pitch. So no balls, 2 strikes here to Biggs. Biggs known as a power hitter as far as contact. More on the side of power as he will get a grounder there to the shortstop, and it'll actually hit the chest of the shortstop, Willis, there. And so Biggs will reach first base. An error there from Willis. Helps Biggs go to first. And so 1 out here. As that'll be a line drive. It goes into the glove of Willis. He tried to track it down. No, he can't make the throw. As it came to him, it was to the point where it couldn't land straight in his glove, and it almost bounced right in front of him. So where that was a hard ball to catch, but regardless there, another batter reaches base. Not sure if he called that one an error. I'll wait for the statistician there to rule that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. The one that Biggs hit definitely was,
Yeah.
So that's back-to-back. At least slip-ups, not quite an error if not, but on the shortstop position.
As that'll be a bunt to Perkins, and that's a good one. The throw is made, and that one will hit the dirt by the catcher, so 1 run will score. Biggs will come in, and Douglas will stay at third. That is a
huge.
nice bunt from Perkins. He's known to be one of the best bunters on this team.
Yeah, he's really the only guy on this Hoppers team that gets the bunt signal, and he's laid down a couple this season. Not many. This isn't like last season where we saw everybody bunting, but Sam Perkins will do it here and there, and he's also very fast, so able to run that one out and put some pressure on him, make him throw that ball over the first baseman.
As that'll be a shot to center field, trying to tag up as Douglas. The throw is made. He can't get there, and Douglas ties up the ball game. As now a 2-2 score here. And the Hoppers putting themselves in a good position. We mentioned earlier, if 5 innings are completed and there is rain that comes in or bad weather, they'll take who the leading scorer is. But the Hoppers, you saw them in a 2-0 score, now tying things up, a good position for them. But as I mentioned, it does look like it's clearing up a bit. It has a weird kind of a vibe. You see dark clouds, you see light clouds. Looks like the DreamWorks poster.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the weather we've seen the last few days has been very little rain and a lot of lightning and wind and stuff like that. And well, we've already heard thunder and we've already seen wind. So if it continues on the theme we've seen this week, there probably won't be much rain tonight.
So 1 ball, no strikes. The throw, it's fouled behind home plate. As Oliverio is at the plate. Two outs here. Oliverio in his last at bat, he hit Reed Douglas going from second to third. As that'll be just an outside pitch, making it 2-1. The count 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Score here is tied up. As he'll throw over to first in time is Perkins. And a great bunt from Perkins a moment ago. As Ethan mentioned, he is the go-to guy when you need a good bunt for this Hoppers squad. Two 2-1 the count. Throw. That ball low and inside makes it 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The throw. And staying at first there, as now finding himself in a pickle is Perkins. They'll make the throw over to second. Perkins will go towards first. And Perkins will slow up, and he'll just accept the tag there as he found himself stuck.
No, they're going to say that that was probably a ball thrown. And so a walk nonetheless. So he was going to get the second anyway.
As you were right there, it was the ball thrown. So we saw the action for nothing. And a good job there from Ethan pointing that out. So walking was Oliverio. So the stolen base didn't matter there, as Perkins will advance to second. Ball called there to Carter Hood. As the ball got around home plate a bit of a struggle for Templin to get the ball, but staying at first and second is Oliverio and Douglas. Or excuse me, Oliverio and Perkins. The throw, and that ball.
And that's the second time Carter Hood's been hit by a pitch today. And both of his at-bats, he has been hit by a pitch in the same shoulder, same spot.
That right-handed batter in that left shoulder area. And we've got loaded bases now. A chance for the Hoppers to take the lead here, as there is going to be a meeting at the mound.
And that's all it'll be. There's nobody in the Bombers bullpen quite yet, so they're just going to talk it over. A walk and a hit by pitch have the bases loaded, but before that, I mean, I would say it was not the pitcher's fault up to that point. A couple of errors led to those runs, the 2 errors, or at least 1 error, and 1 close to being one at shortstop, and then the throw over the first baseman. So probably not going to – they might send guys to warm up, but they're probably less worried about the pitching and more worried about the sloppy defense so far if you're Dubois.
So it's Estrada at the plate with the bases loaded.
And he's going to get hit by a pitch.
Is hit in the back.
And this
and
pitcher,
a run will score, so the Hoppers take the lead.
This pitcher has completely lost the zone right now. Walks Oliverio, and then back-to-back hit by pitches. And that one was even farther out than the one that hit Hood.
You're right, that one hit Estrada in the back, nonetheless the shoulder. So now bases loaded once again. Hoppers have taken the lead here. That's a swing and a miss.
If you're Villalobos here, you have to wait and find one you like, because nothing this pitcher has done in the last 3 at-bats would show you he'd throw you 3 straight strikes.
Throw there, just a strike, was a bit low to Miggy Villalobos. And now all Hoppers have seen the plate in this 3rd inning. As that'll be a shot towards left field.
Is that going over?
And that ball is out of there. A grand slam for Miggy Villalobos. His first of the season. A 3rd run is scored, and now Villalobos is now the 4th as he tags the bag. And a nice shot there.
That is
Villalobos.
That is, I mean, it's a grand slam, obviously. This team, not a great hitting team. That is by far the biggest offensive piece we have seen from this Hoppers team all season. And it comes with 2 outs on the board. In a game that just a moment ago was, you were losing 0-2, now you're up 7-2.
And now if you're the Hoppers, as umbrellas are starting to come out, may see some rain. If you're the Hoppers, you want to speed this ball game up now.
Yeah, because these guys would not be complaining if they got to go home early with a victory that they scored 7 runs in 1 inning in.
As that is a high and inside pitch. As Logvanov is back at the plate. That'll be a high hit ball going towards left fielder. I think it might be fouled. It's close. No, it's grabbed right near the line. And it's Willis, the one who made those 2 errors, makes it up there and gets the ball out from foul territory. As that will do it. As there were just, if I'm counting it right, just 2 hits there. It was a couple of hit by pitches and walks that helped those runs score, but 2 hits. There was 2 errors. And actually 3 errors, check that, 3 errors. And there was none left on base and 7 runs scored. As we look at the Manpower of Hopkinsville scoreboard, 7-2. The Hoppers lead here as we head to the top of the 4th inning. This is Hoptown Hopper Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. welcome back here. 7-2 is the score as the Hoppers lead here in the bottom of the third inning. And Miggy Villalobos with the grand slam a few moments ago, his first home run of the season. And it was a shot towards left field. The showing button taking it away. There was Hurls.
Yeah, and like you said, Brady Ginnivan only pitching 3 innings in this one. This is Dylan Eaton now on the mound for Hoptown, who has been seeing more and more relieving opportunities for this team, especially with that break. I want to say he may have relieved in that last home game we had here, which doesn't feel like too long ago, but after a long break, it kind of was. So getting to use him as much as possible. So after a strike, 2 balls and a strike there, the count is now 2-2.
Again, 7-2. The Hoppers lead 2 balls, 2 strike. That ball is high there and fills up the count at 3-2. Now, I do want to note, Hoppers have a thing to them as this pitch will be thrown full count. That ball is going to be fouled behind the first base bullpen. Hoppers have been known to kind of give up some leads and make it tight towards the end of the game. So you look at a game like this, Hoppers, their main focus is going to be to keep this lead and hold on to it, as that'll be an outside pitch there for a walk.
Yeah, well, a team like Hoptown, who has been the definition of inconsistent all year long, you can never rely on them to hold a lead like this, because if they went the rest of this game without scoring a run, it wouldn't be incredibly surprising after a 7-run inning. So if you're Dubois right now, you have to know that and realize you can chip away at this lead as a strike's thrown there swinging.
So 0-1 count to Dalton Watson. Dalton Watson coming from Belmont University and is originally from Monroeville, as that ball will be hit towards left field, and tracking it down was Vergara there, as that one, if they had one, that would be on the warning track here at Colonel Field, as that one was right near the fence.
Yeah, and it's funny because, and it's, there's a lot of factors that go into this. That ball looked and sounded better than the one that Villalobos hit out for the grand slam. I thought when that ball left the bat it was going over. It was probably pretty close, but it's funny how that will happen.
As that's a chopper fouled near third base. So 0-1 the count. One out, runner first, trying to go there and swinging. That was an inside pitch there, I guess. Brevin Brisick there didn't see his teammate Hurlis going at first, because if he had took it, it might have been a ball called. It looked like it from here, but swung on, making it an 0-2 count.
Yeah, and if you're Brisick, you're worrying about strikes getting called. He struck out in his first at-bat on a similar strike.
As that will be a shot towards center field, and making the diving grab there is Oliverio as he leaps to the front and makes the grab. Nice hustle there from Dom. And now Anthony Jarrell is at the plate with 2 outs, and Caden Hurlis can't seem to get off first base here. The throw is Hurlis will try to steal. It'll be a chopper towards Hood. He'll make the throw to first. That ball hits the ground, but it is caught by Mac Biggs, and that will do it, as there were no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base with no runs scored. As we look at the manpower of Hopkinsville scoreboard, 7-2. The Hoppers lead as they will go towards the bottom of the 4th. They'll send their 9, 1, and 2 batters. That's Mac Biggs, Reed Douglas, and Sam Perkins next up in the bottom of the 4th inning. This is Hoptown Hopper Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
This is News Radio WHOP AM Hopkinsville and WHOP HD3 Hopkinsville. News Radio WHOP.
And we're here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Hoptown Hoppers currently playing the Dubois County Bombers. And a 7-2 ball game as the Hoppers lead here. As batting for the Hoppers, it'll be Mac Biggs starting things off. He was one of the runs that scored in that 7th inning.
Yeah, he was the first batter to get on base, first batter to score as well. It was funny, Artem Logvinov actually accounted for 2 of the outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Out of the 3 outs, Artem was 2 of them. And Biggs came up after his first one and got on base with an error, and that's where things really got started during that 7-run inning for Hoptown, their biggest inning of the year. So see if they can, I don't want to say do it again, that's a big ask, but maybe here in a similar situation they're feeling some momentum and Biggs can get at least something started for them and they can continue working here in the 4th.
Throw theirs. There is a new pitcher for the Bombers. Is Liam Samuels is pitching. He's from Kentucky Wesleyan College and is originally from Rockledge, Florida. Throw there hits the dirt, making it a 1-1 count now.
Yeah, and he's very clearly not throwing it as fast as the last pitcher threw. So a different look here. These guys are used. That pitcher wasn't throwing it crazy fast, but faster than this one. And so these guys now having to slow up their bats just a little bit.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's a high ball there, making it 2-1. And if I remember correctly, that home run that Mac Biggs said it was a slower pitcher for that team as well. Throw there is going to be a foul ball there to the left of the bullpen, as that one was hit with power but fouled, making it a 2-ball, 2-strike count. As that game against the full count rhythm was the home run from Biggs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That ball is fouled. So the count remains the same.
Biggs has gotten a bat on every, except for one of them. I was about to say every single pitch so far, but there was one that was thrown high for a ball. Other than that one, it's either been a foul. Oh, and he leaned into it. They're going to pull him back. Yeah, they're going to say he was out. He leaned all the way into that ball to get hit by that pitch. It actually may have hit him anyway, but he threw his whole body forward.
Yeah. It was some embellishment there. And so Biggs is out there.
Yeah, and they're cracking up in the dugout right now with him about that.
As that one was close. That ball was an inside ball, but I think it was probably maybe in that same spot that was going to hit Biggs. Douglas decides to just stay away from that one. So 1-0 the count. That ball is hit and fouled, but it's going near the dugout. I know that might land in near the bleachers, and it lands right in front of a group of kids. Mom next to him, she's got her head covered. She knows better. Kids are just kind of just looking up, waiting for it. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Reed Douglas. And we've got 1 out. A pitch there is a ball, so 2-1 the count. Throw. It gets behind Douglas, or excuse me, Templin. Douglas at bat.
And Douglas has already walked in this game. I believe he was the first runner on base today for Hoptown after a walk.
He was. As that ball is just a bit outside. Reed he didn't have an immediate walk to first base because it was a close one, but Douglas walks once again. Douglas has reached base in each of his at-bats. 2 now from walks, and in his last at-bat, it was from an error. Now Sam Perkins. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out in his first at-bat, but hit a base hit. As that'll be a shot towards shortstop, and hitting the chest there is that's an out. And Willis once again, as it hits his chest, he's able to field it and throw it towards second, but struggling once again on a ground ball.
Yeah, I'm wondering if shortstop's his primary position, because he's done that twice now that it probably would have been a double play and can't quite get a grab on it, so they only get 1 out. And then, of course, he's had 2 errors besides that. So wondering if they're giving him some time at shortstop, but that's not where he normally plays. Either that or he's just having an off day.
And he has had some hard hits to him. And the thing to mention, too, that's the Hoppers' sweet spot when you look at their lineup. They love hitting in that area towards shortstop, in between third. So that might be a factor as well, as a lot of power getting shown. As that'll be a ball, line drive straight to Willis, and he makes the grab there at shortstop as Luis Vergara hit that one right to him. And that'll be the 3rd out, as there was no hits and no errors. There was 1 left on base and no runs scored. As we check the Manpower of Hopkinsville scoreboard, heading to the top of the 5th inning, Hoppers lead the Bombers 7-2. This is Hoptown Hopper Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Pitcher for the Hoppers, it's John Gerard. As Gerard has been seen in multiple games for the Hoppers, as he's from Hanover College and originally from Richmond, Kentucky. Just looking at Gerard's stats, he has had 6 appearances. He has a 2-1 record, wins and losses. He's pitched 17 innings, and he's given up 23 hits, 8 runs. Or he's given up 6 runs, walked 2, and struck out 16. Has the 3rd most strikeouts on the team. Ginnivan with 24. He'll have actually a couple more after that, after tonight's performance. I believe he had a couple. And then with 17 strikeouts is Frankie Paradis. Starting off here is Josh Newton for the Bombers here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch is low and inside for a ball. This Hopper Game Day is sponsored by Altman Coatings. 1-0 the count. First pitch is inside, but swung on and missed there. That's a 1-1 count. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 7-2 score here. The throw. That one too low. Makes it 2-1. And the Hoppers lead 7-2 here. The throw from the lefty Gerard is right down the middle. Fastball called a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Throw there is a low for a ball, so full count. You know, Ethan, I don't want to jinx anything, but I'd like to say I think we're good for at least right now. It is looking fine here at the ballpark. As that'll be a low swing and a miss there. And a strikeout thrown by Gerard for the first out. Now Aaron Busick, left-handed batter, is at the plate. Busick is 0 for 2. As that will be a foul ball. As 0 for 1 is the count. So now 1 ball, 1 strike. Throw there is a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. And a strike called there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a throw there. It'll be a hit towards center field. It drops in front of Oliverio. He'll scoop it up. And a base hit there from Busick. So I want to make a correction. Previously, earlier in the ball game, I had mentioned that Brady Ginnivan had transferred to a Southeastern Illinois college. Apologize. Apparently that is not true, as reading the roster. It originally said Indiana State, but the roster I was given does say Southeastern Illinois College. So I have to get with the people who organized the roster there, as I was reading wrong information there. But I apologize. There apparently Ginnivan is not going to be playing for Southeastern Illinois College, so I wanted to put that out there. Apologize for the mishap. Now up to bat, Xander Willis at the plate, as that'll be a strike called there. 0-2 the count. Runner at first. The throw is swung on and missed for the strikeout. So now 2 outs. Both of them have come via strikeout. There is a runner at first, and Busick after his base hit.
And I will say Gerard all season long has been a top reliever on this team, if not the top reliever on this team. But today, I think his speed is coming a little bit faster. I think this is the fastest I've seen him throw, and that could be we haven't seen him in a while. Something he's had a good amount of rest, or he's just feeling it today, but he's throwing well. Another swing and a miss there, so he's on a roll right now.
So an 0-1 count after that strike. And ball called there makes it 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs to throw. That ball is chopped near home plate. It looked like it might have hit the foot of Templin. So 1-2 the count with 2 outs and a runner at first. The throw from Gerard. That ball is going towards short right field. Estrada tracks it down and makes the easy grab. As checking what happened for the Bombers in that top of the 5th, there was 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left on base with no runs scored. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning, checking the manpower of Hopkinsville. A scoreboard 7-2. Again, the Hoppers lead a 7-2. We'll be back with more action coming up Here, this broadcast brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
The Hoptown.
Joe P.
And welcome back, folks. It's a 7-2 lead here for the Hoppers as they are set to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning, as they'll send Oliverio, Hood, and Estrada to the plate, starting things off. First up, Dom Oliverio. He was walked in his last at bat in the 3rd and ended up scoring. Throw there is just a bit outside. Maybe a bit high too, but 1-0 count regardless. So 1 ball, no strikes. The throw is inside. That ball hit towards the left field. It might be gone if it's fair. And no, it's caught right above, right in front of the fence there near left field.
Yeah, definitely had the height, but didn't quite have the speed when that ball left the bat. Didn't quite have that crack to it, but definitely had the power behind it. Just not quite that perfect swing that you're looking for there. But with Oliverio, he's going to get that ball out there. So that one on the warning track, close one to seeing another night with 2 home runs for Hoptown after pretty much a whole season of not seeing them at all.
Strike called there, just clips the strike zone near the bottom.
Carter Hood here just hoping he doesn't get hit by another pitch.
Throw there, and that's a shot straight to the pitcher. And the throw is made, and that's an out. Hood was looking
some payback
for some revenge
some
there.
Payback.
But Hood is out as trying to make the grab there.
Yeah, and they're going to make sure he's all right.
And they do check on him. That's Liam Samuels was able to make the grab.
It's a pretty ironic situation there to get hit by a pitch. Both your first at-bats, then on your 3rd one, shoot a ball straight into the pitcher's legs. An interesting day here for Carter Hood.
And Estrada was one of those batters that were hit by a pitch as well. It's back-to-back players, first with Hood, then Estrada, as he'll hit a shot towards
that'll be down
right center, and it's winding, and it will bounce.
Extra
he will
bases.
head for 2, and he will stay at 2nd for the double there by Estrada. So 2 outs, but a runner at 2nd. And now Manuel Miggy Villalobos. As he had the grand slam in the 3rd inning. His first home run of the season. First pitch is low and outside. They'll throw over to 2nd, and they're going to call out. And Estrada, I didn't think it hit him. And Estrada says it didn't touch him. He knows it didn't touch him. That's how he feels, but the umpire.
And they're going to try to get him to talk that one over. Estrada is staying at 2nd base. He feels like he wasn't even close to being out there.
Yes, they're going to have a chat.
And Estrada will sit down on 2nd base.
He sits down on 2nd base. Oh, and I believe the first base umpire might be saying that he didn't touch him. And they're going to have a meeting. And so we'll keep it here for right now, see if they end up reversing the call. Estrada, he knows he was not touched. At least he's making it seem like it, as he is still sitting down on second base. As the throw, as Estrada had a nice leadoff. And they're gonna make the call still and out. So that's the third out in the middle of Miggy Villalobos' at bat. Estrada is called out at second, as there was a one hit, no errors, none left on base after the tag out, and a no run scored as we head to the top of the sixth inning, a 7-2. The Hoppers lead the Bombers. This is Hoptown Hopper Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. As it looks like some subs are being made.
He said
multiple.
Yeah, I believe
multiple.
2. If you want to look at your roster and check that, I believe he said
John
2.
Keebler, I believe, has come to shortstop. I believe I do see that. Gavin Baxter is now at third.
And that's right.
And is there a change in the left field, maybe? We'll have to wait and see. Or I pull out the binoculars.
I think that's still Luis. I can just tell by the way he's standing.
And center field is still Oliverio. We know right field is still Estrada, as that's a strike called there.
Yeah, that looks like Oliverio in center field as well. That might not be Luis in left. I'm not sure. It kind of looks like it kind of doesn't. It's hard to tell from this far out.
Austin is at the plate. He's now facing an 0-2 count after the strike, or the swing and miss and the foul ball.
It will be Chase Cummings at first base, though, for Mac Biggs. And I believe that's a new second baseman, too, for Sam Perkins. Yeah, Carter Hood has moved from third to second base. So Carter Hood was already in the game, but he was playing at third, and now he's at second. So we have a totally new look infield now here in the sixth inning.
As that will be a hit towards left field. Looks like it has some distance to it, and it'll be fielded there, as I believe 35 might be.
I think that's Luis. Just the way he was running, I think that's Luis.
But a grab regardless, and a nice job from left fielder Luis Vergara.
If it is 35, that'd be Luis Villalba, which he's been playing catcher all year. So if
yeah.
that was him, that'd be a totally new
look.
look.
I thought I saw a 5 on the back of the jersey, but Vergara has a Warrior 16. We'll try to figure that out, but strike called regardless, so 0-1 the count. As that ball will hit the dirt and get past Douglas, making it a 1-1 count. So 1 ball, 1 strike here. Throw there, swung on and missed. Makes it 1-2. As that'll be a strikeout called. So now 2 outs. And that is confirmed to be Luis Vergara out in left field. That's a strike. Dalton Watson at the plate. He's 0 for 1, flied out to left field. 2 outs here, as that'll be another hit there. That'll land, though. near left field, so a base hit there for Dalton Watson, his first of the game. So now 2 outs. And Brevin Brisick is at the plate. Strike called there. 0-1 the count.
I'll tell you what about Gerard. He doesn't like to throw balls. Even if that ball comes off the bat, he likes to let his defense work. Throws one there, but a check swing. They're going to check him and call him a strike there on a check swing. So there he did throw a ball there, but tried to swing on it anyway. But you'll see a lot from Gerard. It's either a strikeout or it's getting into the outfield, and that's kind of how he's been playing all year.
0-2 the count, fouled there. An attempt to steal the base there was Watson. They'll be forced to come back to first. So no balls, 2 strikes here with 2 outs. Throw from the lefty, and he'll throw over to first to Cummings, but in time is Watson. The 0-2, that ball is hit high near center field, and that's the grab there by Oliverio. As there were no hits, no errors, 1 left on base, and no run scored. As we look at the manpower of Hopkinsville scoreboard, 7-2. As we'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning, the Hoppers lead at 7-2. And this is Hopper Baseball brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
WHOP.
And welcome back to Colonel Field as the Hoptown Hoppers currently hosting the Dubois County Bombers. There's a 7-2 score here. Throw is low and outside to Miggy Villalobos.
I'm curious to see what are they talking about here. Not exactly sure.
I'm not sure as well.
Oh, the umpire was not on the field. Maybe he ran to the restroom. So we had a ball thrown there with 2 umpires on the field.
Well, we have a 1-0 count here. Fortunately, it wasn't a shot towards first base or a grounder in that matter. 2-0 now the count.
Yeah, so here Villalobos is on a 2-0 count. He's a player who's liked to swing all year. He had a grand slam earlier in this game. I'm curious to see how he attacks this right now.
Yes, he was hit there.
And I don't know what they're asking here, but he'll walk to first whether or not they want him to or not. Looks the catcher also may have taken a hit to the hand also. So a bit of a dangerous throw there as it hits both hands of the batter and catcher.
Villalobos will reach.
Props to Villalobos for taking 2 balls there at the beginning and then watching there and not swinging on that one. It obviously hit him, but showing some improvement over the course of the season and not getting caught up behind in counts as often as he was.
And so now it'll be Keebler at the plate.
Here's a guy who all year has been very disciplined at the plate. No outs on the board. He's in a good spot.
There's that ball low and inside there. Makes it a 2-0 count now. Back-to-back balls thrown. That's a high pitch for a ball. So now 3 balls. And no strikes. With Villalobos at first. The throw. And that'll be the walk there. Looked like it was a bit in the middle, but just a bit too outside. And in his first at-bat of the game, Keebler walks. And now Chase Cummings will see his first at-bat. As Villalobos as Tate Van Hooser. I was a bit confused as I heard the PA announcer say a different name, but with this roster, I'm finding out there are errors in this I didn't know about.
Van Hooser, sort of a local, played for Caldwell County in high school, I believe.
He's from Princeton, Kentucky.
Yes, so he has played at this field before, I'm sure, several times over the course of his high school career.
Throw there is a strike, just manages to get inside. Swing and a miss there. That makes it an 0-2 count. That pitch is high for a ball. So now 1-2 the count. One ball, 2 strikes. The throw inside. That ball is chopped, but then it's on plate in the leg of Cummings. So now still a 1-2 count. Got runners at first and second with no outs here. A chance for the Hoppers to put some more runs on the board. And breaking ball is going to be hit there towards the shortstop. He'll make the throw to first. It'll bounce, but it's off the bag. So a base hit there for Chase Cummings. And we've now got loaded bases here with Reed Douglas at the plate. Throw there is fouled. Inside pitch swung on. So no balls, 1 strike here. Hearing someone from the dugout. And I heard out the park. Thought they want to see 2 grand slams.
They're getting a little excited.
There's a potential here. I'm not sure the last time the Hoppers have had 2 grand slams in a game. We might have to check the archives for that one as that ball gets behind. Or no, it actually will hit Douglas. So a run will automatically score as Van Hooser comes in.
5 hit by pitches tonight for the Hoppers. 3 from the first pitcher we saw tonight, and now 2 from this one. So, yeah, you know, you never like to get hit by a pitch, but doing some work just with that, just wearing some, getting some runs on the board from getting some bruises on it.
Bases loaded. Gavin Baxter will hit it towards left field, as that is deep left field. So trying to tag up here is Keebler, and he will come in easily. So a run does score Keebler comes in. And an RBI for Baxter.
And I'm not sure, and you can check for me, I believe, have the Hoppers gotten to double-digit scoring this year?
That is a great question. As the first pitch there to Vergara is fouled.
I can't remember it off the top of my head. Maybe they have. If so, it would probably have to be only in one game. I cannot remember them doing it at home, and I have missed a couple of away games.
Throw there is fouled, but ends up in the glove of the catcher. And looking at the stats here, I do not think they have. As you can get a second look for me, as that'll be a shot towards right field, and short right field, it is fielded for the out. So now 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Douglas at first and Cummings at second. Dom Oliverio is at the plate now. A 9-2 ball game here. As the Hoppers currently lead the Bombers. As that's a high pitch near the head of Oliverio, risking a 6th hit batter. As that'll be a grounder fouled near third. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is actually the most runs the Hoppers have scored all season. They had the 8-7 win against the Henderson Flash, so 9 runs, a season high in runs scored. And looking to make a double digits here with runners at first and second and 2 outs. To throw there, 1-1 is fouled. It bounces off home plate, so now 1-2 the count. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. The throw, breaking ball is going to be grounded to third, and it's bobbled a bit, but tagging the base there gets the force out, as that will do it. As Hurlis gets the tag out. So looking at what happened in that 6th inning, there was 1 hit. There were no errors. And there were 2 left on base with 2 runs scored. As we look at the Manpower of Hopkinsville scoreboard, looking for a job, visit Manpower on Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville today. Let them connect you with a great position where you can start tomorrow. This is Hoptown Hopper Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
News Radio WHOP.
It's a 9-2 ball game. The Hoppers lead the Dubois County Bombers. as the Hoppers only scored in 2 innings. It was that big third inning with 7 runs scored. That's helped them. They scored 2 in that last inning in the 6th. A ball is called there. As batting now in the top of the 7th are the Bombers. It's Anthony Jarrell, the 9th hole batter, starting things off. Gerard is pitching for the Hoppers. High pitch there, called ball, so 2-0 the count. It's 2 balls, no strikes. The throw here. That one is inside, but too low there. Makes it a 3-0 count. Jarrell is at the plate. The throw here, that one in the middle for a strike. On deck is Josh Newton for the Bombers. 3-1. That ball fouled and hits the screen near the dugout by first base for the Hoppers. Throw there, and that'll be a strikeout looking after that foul ball. It filled up the count, and that is a strikeout there. And a nice job there from Gerard working a 3-0 count back to the strikeout. Now 1 out. Newton is 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out in his last at bat. He'll swing there and foul as that ball had hit the top of the screen in front of the home bleachers and ended up going past them. So now 0-1 the count. That pitch is a strike there. So quickly started the last batter 3-0. Now he's going to start this batter 0-2. Josh Newton at the plate. The throw here from Gerard. That one inside. Douglas does a nice job of getting behind that one. 1-2 the count. The 1-2. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Other than pitching, because I feel like that's the easiest answer. What would you say the second hardest position to play is in baseball?
Man.
That'll be a high one for a ball.
Another ball. You know, I'd say it has to be catcher or shortstop. I think it could be third base if they got the ball more, but the ball doesn't come over there as much. That one is fouled off towards the Hoppers bullpen. They'll have to watch their heads back there, but yeah, I mean, shortstop's probably the most active defensive position, but man, I would hate to be squatted down like that for an entire game if I was a catcher.
I agree, as that will be the ball 4 there as it ends up in the dirt. That's what kind of drove me to ask that question when I saw, Reed Douglas working behind the plate. We've seen multiple Hoppers catchers. I mean, that's a tough one. We've seen multiple bases loaded situations on defense and just runners in scoring position in general, and we've seen some pitches that, sometimes they get past the catchers, but we've seen a lot of, balls that are taken by these catchers. As stealing right before he even throws there, Gerard, Newton stole second.
Yeah, that's one where no one even yelled runner. I mean, you would assume if someone yells a runner there that Gerard would slow up and pick the runner off, but I didn't hear anything. I mean, he was almost to second base when that ball left Gerard's hand.
He's smiling a bit. It's just, and he's left-handed too. So, he's kind of, I think his eyes were strictly on the plate. And so 1-0 the count. And Newton reached second on the stolen base. So now 1 ball, no strikes. And a runner at second for the Bombers. currently batting. 1 out as well. Throw. That ball is fouled. That one will go behind the visiting bleachers as there is a race for a foul ball. We've got a kid down. Running too fast, tripped over his own legs. 1 ball, 1 strike to throw. That ball is going to be hit, and Keebler tries to jump up for it. It hits the glove. He can't make the grab. And a nice show of athleticism as he jumped up for it, but didn't complete the mission there as his glove touched the ball but couldn't catch it. So advancing to third now is Newton.
Yeah, and that could have been a sneaky double play there if Keebler comes up with it because that runner didn't check up at second. So it turns from what could have been a double play, at the very least would have been 1 out to put 2 outs on the board and leave a runner at second and 2 runners on the corners.
As that will be a double play possibility as it's grounded at second. The throw is out and a throw to first, and that is a double play. No run will score from the Bombers. That run from third as it was 4-6-3 there. And that makes the ball score 9-2. Looking at the manpower of Hopkinsville scoreboard, it is now the 7th inning stretch brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Visit them today on Fort Campbell Boulevard and download it. Well, you know what? Actually, not today. It's Sunday. So visit them any other day on the week on Fort Campbell Boulevard and download the Chick-fil-A app for online ordering. Again, the score 9-2 as the Hoppers currently lead the Bombers. This is Hoptown Hopper Baseball, also brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
WHOP.
It's a 9-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th inning as the Hoptown Hoppers are leading the Dubois County Bombers. Hoppers have played good baseball here, and that has given them the 9-2 lead here. The throw, and it's looking like an infield fly, and trying to track it down is the pitcher, and he does make the grab there. That's Liam Samuels with the grab. So now 1 out, as that was Carter Hood there that popped out to the catcher. And now Rob Estrada is at the play. First pitch, breaking ball, called strike there. Estrada was in that controversial play where he was at second base. The pitch was thrown. He kind of jumped off of second base, or he already had his lead off. They threw over. He went back to second. And from my view, it didn't look like he was touched by the glove. And Estrada agreed too. He said he wasn't, but the umpire originally called out the 1-1 count as that ball is fouled. And that one hits the foot of Estrada, and he goes down and crouches down as he does get back up. And he's walking it off here. And he seems to be all right. Coach Tavari coming in. And I believe he put the thumbs up and said, "I'm good." But back to that play. He was called out. Then there was a meeting between the umpires. And it officially was called out once again. So Estrada trying to get another hit. 1-2 the count as he will hit one towards left field or left center, and it's fielded. As talking about the Hoppers today, they've had multiple deep flyouts, and I think that's a positive sign for these Hoppers. As we've seen, you mentioned some of the in the beginning of the season. I remember you used to talk and say that some of these fly balls would be the deepest you've seen all season because they didn't get many. But now we're starting to see these bats come alive, and maybe a little extra wind and just a little bit more force, and we might have had about 3-4 home runs tonight, in my opinion. 9-2 is the score here. As at the plate is Van Hooser. That's a fly ball, and no, it was fouled near right field. Almost a terrific grab, but trying to get there was Paul Austin. He couldn't get it.
And Van Hooser, a big guy. You would assume just from looking at him that he has some power on that bat. So if that is the case, because this is the first at-bat we've seen from him this season, as he is a late joiner of the Hoppers. It's another one popped up, similar spot. That one going to go all the way foul. But the Hoppers coach is definitely probably trying to maybe recruit some power hitters because they need one or two.
No balls, 2 strikes. Throw there was low. Van Hooser brought the bat off of his shoulder, but didn't go. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stepping off of the mound is Samuels. The throw. That ball low and outside makes it 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here, and a 9-2 score. The throw. That ball is hit towards the center field and left center, and once again, it is caught. So that will be the 3rd out, as it was 3 up, 3 down. No hits, no errors, none left on base, and no runs scored. As we head to the top of the 8th inning, it'll be Templin, Austin, and Hurlis for the Bombers. Checking the manpower of Hopkinsville scoreboard at 9-2. The Hoppers lead is. We'll be back with the top of the 8th. This Hopper baseball broadcast brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
News Radio WHOP.
And welcome back here. 9-2 is the score as the Hoppers lead the Bombers. And a new pitcher for the Hoppers as it's Miles Green currently pitching. Weather has taken a bit of a turn. As we're starting to get some more powerful winds coming in. As I'm sure looking at the sky, it's definitely raining somewhere in Hopkinsville.
Yeah, I was told it did rain in Katie's earlier when that first clouds came through, so that's only about 15 minutes away. And Hoptown was able to escape those rains. Maybe not going to be able to get through these. It's supposed to rain at about 8 o'clock, which come in about 4 minutes.
As that is going to be fouled. It hit near home plate. As it was going all the way towards second to Carter Hood, but it was called back. Braxton Templin is batting for the Bombers. So 0-1 the count. As that'll be a grounder to second. Fielding it is Hood, throwing it, and it's an out there at first.
Ball don't lie. As the first one hit that direction, called a foul. Second one hit that direction. Back-to-back swings will be an out.
Up at bat is Paul Austin. One out here. Throw to Green. That one will be hit towards Estrada. It bounces. They'll make the throw over. And that one was a little close there. A nice throw there from Estrada. Had some pace on that ball. So Austin will reach first. And Caden Hurlis is now at the plate. He struck out in his last at bat. So 1 for 3. That'll be a chopper towards Keebler. He'll tag the bag, but he can't make the throw.
That was a close one, I'll say. That could have very well been a safe slide there in the second. Called out, but
that was the.
If I were Keebler, I may have tried to just make that throw to first.
That was the same umpire that made that call to Estrada out. So, you know, maybe making it even there. That one. 2 outs now. Runner at first. The throw is low for a ball. Dalton Watson is at the plate. Throw there. It is called a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, Altman Coatings is the sponsor for tonight's game. That's a fast pitch there, straight down the middle. Wish we could have clocked that one. That came in hot. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runner at first. The throw is outside, making the count 2-2. As we have a runner trying to steal, but it doesn't matter, as that's a strikeout, swing and a miss there. As there was 1 hit, there were no errors, and there was 1 left on base with no runs scored. As looking at the manpower of Hopkinsville's scoreboard, it remains the same, 9-2. As we will head to the bottom of the 8th inning. This is Hoptown Hopper Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
News Radio WHOP.
And welcome back here. 9-2 is the score. And an interesting look. We've got super dark clouds, but if you look really closely, you see a rainbow right above center field. And right above the scoreboard as well. Which, speaking of that scoreboard, it reads 9-2. The Hoppers currently leading the Dubois County Bombers. Jamar Perkins here, joined by Ethan Alexander. And it's a new pitcher for the Bombers. As I believe it's Tavian Tig, a left-handed pitcher. As that's a ball called, and I believe I heard someone from the Hopper dugout yelling Tiggs, and you know what, now that I look at it, I believe there is a player that plays for Kentucky Wesleyan College. At least that's what my roster says.
I think Van Hooser, the new player, plays for Kentucky Wesleyan.
Indeed he does, so a teammate there. It'd be cool to see them see each other in lineup. It's a 2-1 count here. As Keebler is at the plate. Two balls, two strikes here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The rainbow is starting to fade a bit. I don't see it as well anymore. The dark clouds kind of covering it. As that pitch just high. You talk about the plate discipline from Keebler. That was shown right there. So full count here. As we've just seen 3 pitches shaken off. And that throw there, and it looks like a pop fly to second, and that's what it is, and a catch there. So 1 out as Keebler pops out. And the right pitch as Tig, I saw him shake off 3 pitches back to back. Found one he wanted. As that throw there is outside for a ball. Chase Cummings is at the plate. As that pitch is fouled. As I just saw someone attempt to take a picture of that scoreboard next to the rainbow. As that is a foul ball, as that one will go to the street behind the ballpark. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, the throw from Tig, and that one bounces in front of home plate. As we hear someone from the dugout yelling, "Good eye." I always love to hear some dugout humor. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that inside pitch makes it a full count here to Chase Cummings. Throw there is a shot towards left field. It will drop, and that's a base hit for Chase Cummings. So now a runner at first, and back at the top of the lineup, it's Reed Douglas. Throw over to first. Cummings is back in time. Strike called there. And a foul ball there. So that one will go way behind the bullpen for the Hoppers. So an 0-2 count. Inside throw there is swung on. But advancing to second will be Cummings there. But a strikeout for Reed Douglas as the ball gets behind home plate. That gives Cummings an opportunity. So advance to second. So now 2 outs. Runner at second. And Gavin Baxter at the plate. He had a deep fly ball out to left field in his last at bat. The throw from Tig is a bit outside. So 1-0 the count. Swing and a miss there. Makes it 1 ball, 1 strike. Inside pitch there. Makes it 2-1. (3-1) the count. Another foul ball here. We got a long count here. As Gavin Baxter staying alive. That one actually gets above the screen. And a young lady makes the grab, getting an ovation from the crowd. Three balls, 2 strikes, and a swing and a miss there. After the long at bat will be the 3rd out, as there was 1 hit. There were no errors. There was 1 left on base and no runs scored. We head to the top of the 9th inning. 9-2 is what I'm looking at the Manpower of Hopkinsville scoreboard. It's what I've been looking at for the past 2 innings. And the Hoppers continue to stay on top. 1 more inning as the Bombers have 1 more chance here with the 7-run deficit. This is Hoptown Hopper Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. and no runs scored. Again, 9-2 the score. And it's reminding me, here's Scott Colley, the PA announcer. We were supposed to have a 6:30 game on Tuesday, still having the game, but 6 o'clock is now the new time, is trying to accommodate for the fireworks show going on. So 6 o'clock will be the start time, the red, white, and ooh event. So 9-2 is your score as the Hoppers beat the rain here and get the victory in a, I would say 2 hour and 18 minutes game, but I believe the game started about 5 minutes early, so it's just over about 2 hours and 10 minutes as the Hoppers take down the Bombers and get a victory here, 9-2. As we'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have our post-game show here. This is Hoptown Hopper Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
HOP.
Welcome back. Here's the Hoptown Hoppers. Defeated the Dubois County Bombers 9-2 and managed to beat the rain as the rain started to come down, but hasn't gotten terrible yet. But an interesting tint in the sky. As at first it looked more yellow, now it's looking almost a bit red. But I want to give our post-game show here. The game summary brought to you by North Trust Insurance, serving Medicare customers with prescription drug plans, Medicare supplement plans, and Medicare Advantage. Visit them today at 305 North Drive or call 270-885-0811. And the Hoppers here, I mean, just a great performance. You look at it, I think that this team is starting to look different. You know, you have a couple of weird losses sprinkled in. You know, you talk about the 14-5 loss recently, but this is a team that's for one, you look at the standings, we still have this started, but a month to play of baseball and a couple of makeup games as well. But you look at that, and you see Hoppers currently in that 5th seed, as currently right now, before this game, they were a game and a half behind the Clarksville Whirlybirds for that 4th spot. It's the top 4 teams that make it to the playoffs in each conference, the Southern and Northern Conference. But for the Hoppers, and that's something kind of brings me to, which we'll discuss that here in a moment, but just talking about this game here, what were your thoughts on it, Ethan?
Yeah, I mean, the hitting was fine. Obviously, we saw a couple big moments throughout the game as far as hitting was concerned, but a lot of the offense the Hoppers got was through errors and, you know, some misplays from Dubois. But the big thing that stood out to me was how solid the pitching was all night. You know, the hitting and offense was good enough to get those 9 runs on the board, but the pitching, apart from, you know, 1 or 2 lapses here and there, was pretty much perfect all night long and left a lot of zeros on the board. And a lot of those guys came out and pitched some of the best innings they've pitched all summer.
The Hoppers were out hit in tonight's ball game 6-5. I mean, that just shows enough. But it was a really big shot from a specific player, which I'll go ahead and say our player of the game is brought to you by Skyline Animal Clinic and Oak Grove Animal Hospital, who supports all the area schools, athletes, and students. Skyline Animal Clinic has been your source of veterinary care for small animals since 1956. Call them today for all your pets' veterinary needs. Player of the game, Ethan, who is it?
I think there's only one real option tonight with one big shining moment is Manuel Miggy Villalobos, who had a ginormous grand slam in this game. His first home run of the year happens to be a grand slam, and this game went from 2-3 to 2-7 real quick. And that was a huge inning. 7 of the runs for the Hoppers were scored in that inning, and he was a huge part of them. He also walked on a hit by pitch, but that grand slam was his coup de grace tonight.
No, I agree. And you talk about Villalobos, too, a 163 batting average. Not the best on this team, one of the lowest. But we've always kind of known, you see his frame, that he's a big hitter, but we've always known he was capable of that. And it kind of was his plate discipline kind of showed it was not as good as he wanted to be. He swung on some outside pitches, and we've seen that. But to see him get a nice shot like that is very happy for him. Glad he got to experience that. The good old grand salami. I wonder if he's going to put that on a sandwich later tonight. We'll see. But Miggy Villalobos is the player of the game. And as we mentioned, next game for the Hoppers will be this Tuesday. It was originally scheduled for 6:30, but it has been moved up to 6 o'clock as they are preparing for the fireworks show, the Red, White, and Ooh event that'll take place. Also, some other things going on, too, is being told there'll be food trucks and things of that nature. So that's something to come out for. So as I say a lot of the times, I hope no one's listening to this broadcast. I hope y'all can all make it as far as locals can come and experience the home game as the Hoppers. And also you look at it, too, as I was going to get into that, Hoppers will be playing the Clarksville Whirlybirds. That's the team that is a game and a half above the Hoppers. So Whirlybirds have already defeated the Hoppers twice, as they'll play them 2 more times after this. So if they can win these 3 upcoming games, they could get the series, because this could be a situation where you see the Hoppers tied with the Whirlybirds. Obviously, we have a lot more games to go to that, but this is an important division win potentially for the Hoppers against the Whirlybirds. Again, that game will be at 6 o'clock with the pregame show starting at 5:45 on News Radio 99.3 FM. 12:30 a.m. WHOP. As always, want to thank those that helped with this broadcast, Bruce Smiley and Jeff Sisk. Thank you to them for their extra assistance, and that will do it. Again, the Hoppers win the ball game 9-2. For Bruce Smiley, Jeff Sisk, Ethan Alexander, Jamar Perkins here saying so long. Want to remind you, as always, to call your loved ones and tell them go Hoppers.